Hello and welcome. This is Dr. John Mason. I am the founder and main facilitator of Masters of the Journey. It's a transformational community. Today, it is my pleasure to be interviewing Cheryl Murphy. She's a psychic medium. She's an amazing woman, and you are going to hear her story and get a little bit more details about what it is that she does. So as you can see, I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest. It's a lovely day. I've got the waves and the ocean just at a minimum so it doesn't interrupt our recording. And with me, Cheryl Murphy has joined us, and I want to tell you just a little bit about Cheryl before I give her the platform and let her tell us her story. And Cheryl's a gifted, clairvoyant, psychic medium. She is heart-centered healer and intuitive that helps many people with key life issues. Her spiritual readings help those who suffer from grief and mourning to connect to loved ones who have passed. Her love psychic readings provide love, help, and assistance with issues dealing with love and relationships. And if you are at the fork in the road, she can help to make a decision by connecting you with spirit guides who are here to assist you at these important crossroads. And you know, Cheryl, that metaphor of helping people at the crossroads really resonates with me, because I know that in my life, when I've come to those places and I've had a difficult decision or choice to make, and I get that very strong gut feeling that I need to go down a certain path, it always turns out, in my opinion, to be the right path. Not always the easy path or fun or even successful, but from my learning and my consciousness development, it's turned out well. So Cheryl, before we get started on all of that, can you just give us a little background about how you got started as a psychic medium, and was there any experiences in your life that really triggered that?
Yes, John, and thank you for having me on your program today. I got started as a very little girl seeing spirit when I was 3 years old. That was my first experience seeing spirit in my bedroom in the middle of the night. And it came to me a few times, but it was a glow. So my experience of spirit was, I was in my crib. I mean, I was still very young. This glow moved around my room. And, you know, it was a friendly family spirit feeling. So it wasn't one spirit, it was several. And it was a very playful energy. Now, this energy kind of revisited me a few times, but each time it would kind of move around my room, and it would move things in my room. And I was so small and so innocent, and so was this energy. So it was like it was a friend. I felt it was talking to me, just playing with me, telling saying hello to me. So that's my first experience when I was 3. So as I grew up, my brother and I, who was closest in age to me, we both played around with, the seances, and we did the Ouija board. We read books, we studied, we played. We went through our younger years, our teens, kind of in that direction, practicing with meditation and our abilities. It also that those meetings that the women in my family were having was all part of a spiritual awakening. For example, my great aunt was a psychic, and we have Cherokee Native American on our family. So my great aunt worked for the government at one time, helping to locate a missing plane. So there was a missing plane and pilot, and it was a very cold, mountainous area that she had to search. And she ended up finding them, but she knew right away that the pilot was not alive. So she did help the government in that way. She located the pilot and the plane. And this was kind of the beginning of me becoming aware of my family's abilities. So the women in our family always gathered at seances, or anytime we had a Christmas or holiday gathering, they would all gather. And I was so young, I would just remember those times faintly, But then as I grew and heard these stories, of course, it makes more sense. So
So,
I really, yeah.
they were encouraging you. And one of the points that I heard you start out with, and I found this to be very true for me, is that when we were innocent and naive and didn't have an expectation of this, it seemed to pop in. All we needed to do was to focus or be aware of it. And from that, we get a gut feeling about how this works, and then we can encourage it later. When you have the support that you did, uh, it, 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 it must have been a very good way,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
To
to get
develop.
started. Yeah.
Yeah, it was natural for our family to, all this ability, this psychic world. This was very natural in our home. So when I left the home, when I would go outside and go to school, no one else was talking about it. I don't know why everyone else is not talking about it, because as I grew up, you realize, oh, this is not something everyone's talking about. But for our family, it's very natural. And that's pretty much how I grew up, was the natural path. And of course, I've developed it. And when I came to the age of 13, John, I realized that, this is what I'm going to do. This is my path. This is what I'm choosing, is to find the answers that people are asking, and to really dedicate my life to helping others understand more of what I was also curious about.
That's wonderful. And so at 13 it came to you. So that was about what, 4 years ago, right? Okay.
I was a few years ago, very quickly. And, I've always had the support of my family. And I did go to traditional college, though. I did get a bachelor's in psychology. I did graduate with continuing education degrees. And I felt behavior, and also study transpersonal psychology, a spiritual psychology. These are very important topics for me. Metaphysics, the paranormal, all fascinating. Parapsychology, even. These are all fascinating topics for me.
I want to just stop and say we're going to have contact information for Cheryl at the end of this video, and her web page, in case you can't wait even for the end of this, is psychicmediumcherylmurphy.com. psychicmediumcherylmurphy.com. Like I said, we'll have some of her contact information at the end in case you want to get in touch with Cheryl. Maybe you want a reading or touch bases with her about an issue that has come up in your life. So you get through college, Cheryl, and what did you do? I mean, how do you hang a shingle and tell everybody that you're a psychic medium?
It was difficult, because once again, it was very hush hush. It wasn't a very open audience, and it was very hard, because I had to make a living. So I did stay with a traditional career path, and I did my spiritual work on the side. And what happened is the weekend work, or the work, the part-time job that in my spiritual readings and my mediumship, fortunately, that became my full-time job. So I kind of did that reverse. I carried myself, I made my way in the world for several years through a traditional career. And it wasn't until angels came to me, literally just about by my shirt sleeves, and said, we need you to do this full time. We will help you. And the angels are incredibly strong and remarkable. You could feel them, I could sense them, I could hear them. And they provided me, and they opened this path for me to now follow, because they gave me the living place for me to stay. They gave me the finances with which to open my website, or my doors open again to hang that shingle. And it was kind of a different time, 8 or 10 years when I started this. Even today is different. So today is much more accepting. People are much more accepting of these abilities. And hopefully my goal is to help them understand that these are our natural abilities. These are natural.
So You're located in the Southern California area. How long have you been down in California, and where do you offer these readings or trainings in person?
Right. Well, I do what I'm doing now because of the wonderful world of the internet. I've been in California just for about 3 years now, but was in Colorado for 15 years. So I had my office and my starting point, I guess, my launching pad in my spiritual work started in Colorado. But so now I'm here, and it's a wonderful place to be. It's exciting. I'm meeting people really from all over the world, and it's exciting to be able to touch someone who's out in Florida when I'm in California. You know, it's remarkable.
Yeah, first off, I want to apologize to the viewers because we are having some problems with the video freezing every now and then. But you make yourself available via the internet and conferencing with people all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And what can you give
Yes.
us? Can you give us either a highlight or an
Yes.
amazing experience? Because we're trying to share perspective with people on what is
Certainly.
possible.
There are two stories I'd like to share, and I do have office space in near the center, the heart of Los Angeles, but I seem to find people on the outskirts. So I either meet them or travel to see them. So it's been really remarkable, the internet, but I also work with people in person and even groups. You know, I'll do families or a kind of a party event where you have a bunch of friends that want to bring through spirit. So let me tell you a couple of stories, John. They're amazing. One of my friends, it's a friend of mine, so I will share this with you. I gave her a reading over a few times because she was just looking for answers and looking for help. So as I was helping her with these intuitive readings, I was telling her, look, you have so much energy that you're producing right now through your prayer and meditation and your own abilities. Your cell phone's going to break because you need to upgrade your cell phone. And sure enough, just like a week later, her cell phone broke and she wasn't able to download what she needed to. So it's kind of a small story, but just stay with me because I'm still working with this woman. And the next time I see her, so what happens is her phone broke, and I do feel it's a spirit telling us we need to upgrade because our vibration is raising. And therefore, when she upgraded it, it resonated more with her frequency or a vibration. So the next time I saw her for another reading, I was telling her, look, I don't know what I'm picking up, but I think your car, you might have problems with your car where you're going to need a new car. And she was shocked because there's nothing wrong with her car. You know, it's a good car. It's all of this, but I was telling her, look, it's not going to be an accident or anything like that. It will be your choice that you need to get a new car, but it'll stop working for you, but you'll be safe when it happens. Like you'll be in the driveway or it won't start, that type of thing. So not to fear. And what happened, John, is she ended up backing out of her driveway about a couple of weeks later. Seems to be my time frame. A couple of weeks later, and red lights started flashing on her. She had it in reverse, and a brake light came on. So she was already aware of the reading. So what happens is she pulled it back into the driveway, turned the key off, waiting for the tow truck drivers to get there, knowing that she could not drive this car any longer. As they had to start it to put it on the tow truck, all of the lights came on. So not only was it the brake light, but it was a series of lights telling her, you're going to need a new car. And I'm telling you this story because it's remarkable that it was actually that Spirit gave us this information to actually keep her safe, and to protect her. So I really do feel that Spirit was guiding me that day to deliver that message to her.
Great.
It's a remarkable. Yeah.
Amazing story. And was there another story that you needed to tell?
This is an amazing story. A young man came to me. It was over the phone, just to let you know. He was in a severe pain. He had depression, and he was on a multitude of medications. So I'm working with a man who had a car accident, pills, And then he was on a multitude of medication, and then that leads to depression. And so I'm working with this man over time. We're working over the phone because he does not live in my area. Absolutely opening up his own abilities, because he didn't know anything about the spirit world. All he knew was that he did not want to continue with his life the way it was. But he was open to learning about his own intuitive abilities. So through coaching him and through some private classes with him, we opened up his own clairvoyance or his psychic and mediumship abilities, to where what happens with that, John, is you raise your vibration and your frequency. You open yourself up to receive healing from guides and angels and our spirit friends, to where, to tell you what he's doing today, he is really still on medication, but is just 1 or 2. And he is actually offering a little bit of spiritual readings now and then, just to kind of keep him using that ability. But it gives him so much joy that he's no longer depressed, because he realizes he is receiving healing from our loved ones, from our unseen friends. So it's really a remarkable story about the power of healing from the spirit world.
Of course, I find that an amazing story, because the project I'm doing behind the scenes is writing about how do people connect with guidance, how you can trust guidance that happens, and the words you used, raise your frequency, and guides and angels will try to match it if you're making an effort, if you're open, and if you're aware. So I loved what you just said, and I hope that perhaps in the future we're going to have some other topics that we can really dive into and share. Maybe we can even have some other people on the call who have questions, and we can watch as you answer the questions, or connect with people who have very specific or targeted needs.
Thank you. And just to tell you, I was a facilitator, so I was able to help open up his own gifts, which now he finds very natural and very important as part of his daily practice now too. He is thriving. He is employed again. He is helping others with his gifts. So it's kind of that gift that keeps on giving and helping others. And I just want to remind everyone that what was great about this client, take one step to open his heart and open his mind to receive that possibility that he did have those abilities. And if you take one step like he did, the universe will take 10 for you. They will absolutely line up the opportunities and the right people to help you on your path.
That's wonderful, and thank you. I really love the way you're presenting this. I hope that the people that are viewing this realize that there are people out there who can share their perspective and their wisdom and their knowledge and their experience, and yet each and every one of us has some of these abilities for answering our own questions or connecting with our own guides and spirits. We're going to kind of wind this down for right now, because I'm really looking at us doing more in the future. But is there any parting information that you'd like to give people? And then, like I said, we'll add your contact information.
What I always want to tell people, thank you, John. Well, thank you so much for having me. What I'd like to share with people is that we think of this as this intuition, this psychic ability, as being a sixth sense, as it's like something that's last on the list in our existence. But really, it's a first sense. It is our most natural ability. And that's what I really want to explain or get out, that message that we are spirit beings. We are spiritual beings having that human experience. So there's so much more to a person than not only the physical body, which is our learning. We're learning through our physical bodies, but there's our energy field is so much grander, and there's so much more power that we have as an individual, that through our powers of setting our intention, for our highest good, helping others, that keeps our vibration and frequency high. Reading inspirational information, feeling good about yourself and really not judging. We're so harsh on ourselves sometimes. But if we can just remind ourselves that we're here to learn, and we're here to grow, and we're here to experience our own uniqueness and our own authenticity, that it's there. It's just sometimes we have to remind each other that we see each other's light. I'll leave you with that. But thank you so much for having me, John. This is great. I love being here.
Well,
Great energy.
I really appreciate who you are, the energy that you give to the world, and the message that we're going to be getting out there, and you continue to get out there. So again, we're going to put Cheryl's contact information up in just a moment. Her website is psychicmediumcherylmurphy.com. And like I said, we'll get a pen and paper out, and you'll be able to write that down along with a phone number, email for her, if you're interested in connecting with her to see how she can be of service to you. So thank you, Cheryl, for coming today. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to working with you, getting more information out to the people in our community and to people around the world who want to tap this by viewing this video.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the work that you do by opening up everyone's mind and heart and offering and inviting people to join in to raise their vibration and their frequency. So thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
We will see you very soon. And just going to end this part of our interview right now. Again, I can't thank you enough for coming on with us, and we'll see you all. I'm going to have the contact information in just a second for you. Again, I want to thank Cheryl Murphy for being on with us today. And here is the contact information, her website, her Facebook page, her email, and her telephone. And we were going to talk to Cheryl, and she will be coming back because there's some very specific topics that we want to talk about. So we hope that you will find out about it, come back and enjoy more information from the Masters of the Journey. If you want to find out more about what Masters of the Journey is, or look for us on our our Facebook page, or come to our website, please do. And you can always sign up at our website to get more information. Love to have you. And Masters of the Journey is a transformational community. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.